Welcome back to another episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update. You know, our series that keeps you updated with our ever-changing industry. For those of you that have been watching this series for a while now, you know how this goes, but for those of you that are new, welcome. We'll be covering the latest in manufacturing, packaging, coding, sustainability, and much more. I'm your host Alexa, and today we'll be discussing topics ranging from a spike in abandoned vessels due to a lack of maritime regulations, to lab-grown meat getting banned before standing a chance on store shelves, to avocados causing environmental mayhem, and finally, nature's bacteria tackling greenhouse gas emissions. So, starting off, the phenomenon of ship abandonment is a complex and long-standing issue within maritime industry, which often leaves crew members stranded and without pay. Analysis of UN data reveals that Panama has registered 20% of all abandoned ships since 2019, followed by Tanzania, Palau, and Togo. These countries are considered flags of convenience with minimal oversight, making them conducive environments for ship owners looking to evade responsibility. One of the most troubling cases involves Saleh, who was abandoned by the Saudi owners of the ship Al Fahad 1 along the coast of Sudan in 2015. Saleh awaited his wages for 7 years in Sudan before the ship sailed to Jeddah for repairs in 2022. Despite signing a settlement that entailed a payment of $140,000 for his overdue wages, he continued waiting for nearly 2 more years with no sign of payment. This case highlights the severe oversight deficiencies among flag states and port authorities. Saleh eventually received a partial settlement only after persistent intervention by the International Transport Workers Federation, also known as the ITF, activists, and media inquiries. The uneven regulations also affect where ships are most frequently abandoned. More than a quarter of recent abandonment cases occurred in Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the UAE, countries that have not agreed to the Maritime Convention's abandonment clauses. This lack of regulation makes these ports a safe haven for ship owners avoiding their obligations. Echoing similar grievances half a world away, Filipino fishing crews in the U.S. faced delayed wage payments and were confined to their vessels without visas. Despite working grueling 17-hour days for employers like McAdams Fish, their pay was dispersed irregularly and insufficiently. Federal intervention and advocacy campaigns eventually led to the workers receiving back pay and temporary immigration status. The ramifications of these abandonment cases are severe, ranging from financial strain and illness among families to mental health deterioration for the stranded crew members. As Saleh aptly put it, "My whole life is anxiety and fear." These narratives underscore the urgent need for improved regulation and enforcement within the maritime industry to protect vulnerable workers and hold negligent ship owners accountable. Moving on, lab-grown meat, which is cultivated from animal cells, has been a polarizing topic within the food industry. Initially hailed as a revolutionary solution to meet the world's growing protein needs, it has encountered both enthusiasm and legislative pushback in recent months. In June of 2023, the U.S. saw a breakthrough when it approved the sale of lab-grown meat for the first time. 2 pioneering California startups, Good Meat and Upside Foods, began to offer cultivated chicken. Despite the initial optimism, the market faced significant hurdles soon after. Several states, including Florida and Arizona, enacted bans on the sale of lab-grown meat and seafood, with others like Iowa restricting its use in school programs. The push for these bans has been bolstered by concerns over food safety and a desire to protect traditional agricultural industries. Proponents of the ban, such as Republican State Senator Jack Williams of Alabama, expresses unease about the safety and transparency of lab-grown products. Critics, however, argue that these concerns are unfounded since cultivated meat must meet stringent safety regulations before reaching consumers. Industry advocates like Tom Rosenmeisel from Good Meat lament that we're throwing up barriers for something that could be really important to our economy and food security. The industry is contemplating legal action and public advocacy to counter these bans. For example, Upside Foods has launched a Change.org petition urging lawmakers to reconsider. The ban's impacts extend beyond just stalling market entry. They may hinder innovation and shift the competitive landscape in favor of international players like Israel and China, where lab-grown meat is also gaining traction. Interestingly, despite state-level opposition, the national meat industry does not uniformly support these bans. Companies like JBS Foods are actively developing their own cultivated meat products. The nuanced stance at the national level suggests an acknowledgement of the potential economic and environmental benefits the lab-grown meat could bring. The future of lab-grown meat in the U.S. hangs in the balance as legislative and industry stakeholders navigate these complex challenges. Moving on, the avocado industry in Mexico, particularly in the state of Michoacan, has experienced exponential growth over the past 2 decades. The surge in demand, driven largely by U.S. consumers, has transformed avocados into what many now term green gold due to their economic value. However, this boom has come at significant environmental and social costs. Michoacan, with its unique temperate climate, consistent rainfall, and nutrient-rich volcanic soil, is the world's largest avocado growing region. The Hass avocado, the most popular variety globally, was introduced to Mexico from California in the mid-20th century. This transition spurred the development of a modern avocado industry, bringing economic benefits to medium-sized operators and rural growers in the region. The North American Free Trade Agreement, also known as NAFTA, further boosted the market in 1997 by facilitating export opportunities to the U.S., with major companies like Calavo leveraging these conditions to ship Michoacan avocado stateside. Despite its economic benefits, the avocados industry's rapid expansion has led to several environmental problems. Monocultural practices have degraded local ecosystems, leading to deforestation, soil erosion, and increased use of agrochemicals. Mexican officials estimate that from 2010 through 2020, 2,900 to 24,700 acres of forest were cleared annually for avocado production. Avocado trees also require significantly more water than native vegetation, threatening the region's water supply. One potential solution for these issues is agricultural diversification. For example, an indigenous community in Sierra Purpecha is successfully cultivating a mix of peaches, lemons, and avocados while also reforesting their lands with native pines. This model showcases a balanced approach to agricultural development that protects the environment and sustains the rural economy. Additionally, the USDA's approval of avocado imports from other Mexican states like Jalisco indicates a move toward diversifying supply sources to alleviate environmental pressures in Michoacan. These changes have far-reaching implications. Economically, they can help distribute the benefits of the avocado boom more equitably across different regions and communities. Environmentally, diversification and reforestation can lead to more sustainable landscapes and protect vital water resources. As U.S. ambassadors to Mexico, Ken Salazar noted during his visit to Michoacan in 2024, the U.S. aims to block imports from illegally established orchards, which could help curb deforestation and illegal land acquisition. Furthermore, a more varied avocado market can enrich consumer experiences, offering a wider array of flavors while supporting environmentally conscious practices. There's hope that the industry can strike a balance between economic growth and ecological responsibility. And we've made it to our final story. Carbon dioxide has primarily garnered attention in the realm of greenhouse gas emissions. However, nitrous oxide, produced by tiny organisms in farm fields, culminates in far greater warming potential. This potent gas, which can endure in the atmosphere for over a century, is primarily driven by the heavy use of nitrogen fertilizers in agriculture, prompting scientists to seek effective mitigation strategies. A groundbreaking discovery presents a naturally derived bacteria, also known as Cloacibacterium, also known as CB-01, that significantly reduces nitrous oxide emissions without hindering other soil microbes. The extensive lab and field trials were pivotal in demonstrating the bacteria's effectiveness, marking a substantial upgrade in emission reduction technique. According to Lars Bakken, a professor at the Norwegian University of Life Sciences, the avenue that we have opened here, it opens for a number of new possibilities in bioengineering of the farm soil. One of the primary challenges in combating nitrous oxide emissions is to find solutions that do not compromise crop yields. While reducing fertilizer use is one approach, it can detrimentally impact agricultural productivity. The bacteria CB-01, grown using organic waste, offers a solution by integrating seamlessly into current farming practices. In field trials featuring roving robots, initial fertilizer application emissions were reduced by 94%, and subsequent applications saw a reduction by about half. This naturally occurring bacteria, found in anaerobic digesters, could be included in farm fertilizers within 3 to 4 years, if economically viable. However, Bakken emphasized the necessity for incentivizing farmers. The task for authorities is to install policy instrument that makes it profitable in one way or another. The introduction of CB-01 heralds a transformative shift in soil agricultural research. If deployment across varied soil types proves successful, the bacteria could have a tremendous impact on reducing greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture. Purdue University soil microbial ecology professor Lori Hoagland noted, "If they can get this to work across soils and things, it would just have a tremendous impact for sure." Additionally, this approach exemplifies a cost-effective synergy between using products from one industry to benefit another. Furthermore, this method aligns with the broader goal of creating sustainable agricultural practices that leverage biotechnological innovations to enhance environmental health. This episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update was brought to you by our SNEEDJet Titan 21 1-inch inkjet coder. The Titan 21 features a user-friendly 7-inch touchscreen for seamless control of two 1/2-inch stitched print heads. This versatile coder excels at marking on porous, semi-porous, and non-porous surfaces with a vivid array of ink choices including black, white, yellow, blue, green, red, and UV. With a remarkable capability to print on items of up to 6 millimeters away, it achieves impressive print speeds of up to 70 meters per minute. Additionally, the ability to program 1 to 8 lines of text per print head empowers you to effortlessly print essential information such as date codes, lot codes, batch codes, barcodes, QR codes, serial numbers, alphanumeric text, and more. Like always, stay tuned for our next episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below to stay up to date with all of our great content. Also, let us know what topics you'd like to see us talk about here on the show. We look forward to hearing from you all. Bye, everyone.